We're live. Please do not swear. Do you remember that on like big?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
what's her face used to say, isn't it? You
Yeah,
are live on
Davina.
Channel 4. Please do not
swear.
I'll just check that we are actually live. And then I think we can start and bang on the numbers as well. Bang on time, bang on like military time.
Fantastic.
That's very James, isn't it? Very James Bond. Yeah, we're there.
It is very organised as well.
I know, isn't it? I absolutely love these Wednesday evenings because it's like I've created my own little TV studio.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's exciting. It's really
It's
exciting.
nice to be on with somebody as well, because generally I'm just talking on my own, and you feel like you're just talking to yourself, really, don't you? So it's nice to have that interaction.
The really, really tough thing about going live is that you feel like you're just talking to yourself.
Yeah, that's what I pretend to do all the time, so I'm all right.
Yeah, I'm always talking to myself, to be fair. Have a word with yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right, good evening, everybody. It's Roz here, and glamorous supervisor. She's my supervisor, not my assistant, Stephanie, but there she is. And also joined by the lovely Janine, who is from Clear the Clutter Now. I will put her link in the comments in a moment when I'll just transfer to my phone.
Thank you.
But thank you very, very much, Janine, for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for the opportunity to come on and chat to all our lovely people.
I know, it's like my own TV studio.
Yeah.
Oh dear, how are you today?
I'm not so bad, thank you very much. Busy day, but it's good. It's all good. So yes, yeah.
So what are you going to talk to us about?
Tonight we are talking about online decluttering and decluttering your handbag.
Oh my God.
Because how many of us, how many women, and I appreciate men may be watching as well, so you may have a man bag or a bag that you put all your laptop in and all your gump that you take out with you. So these bags tend to get bigger and bigger, and we end up just putting more and more stuff in them, and that then becomes heavier, and you then end up with not just loads and loads of stuff and junk that you're carrying around, but it starts to then affect your posture as well, because you tend to carry your bag on one shoulder.
Oh, that's why.
And then you overcompensate.
That is why I'm walking sideways. I'm telling you.
Definitely. I think you've got a couple of bricks in there.
But for effect, it's props for effect. Yeah. But no, I have got the serious thing. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to let you talk. I'm here.
Okay.
I do have a handbag that needs decluttering, so feel free to challenge me.
Okay.
I'm going to put you on there, and then I will just butt in if there's some questions. So everybody, if you do have questions, because come on, you know, clutter is something that just accumulates without our knowledge around us.
It does.
What we don't realize necessarily that it can affect us in more ways than what we think. But I'm going to let the expert talk.
Thank you very much.
I do have a bag.
Thank you. We will come to that in a moment. So thank you very much, Roz. So just a little bit about me, as Roz introduced me. I'm Janine McDonald from Clear the Clutter Now. And I set up my business because of my journey. And my journey isn't one of everything, well, it used to be, of everything being neat and tidy, pre-children, pre-marriage. And I got to the stage where I was struggling at work. There's so much pressure. I was going through a marriage that was very, very difficult. And I then was diagnosed with depression and anxiety and low mood. And what I found was that clutter was a big part of this, and that it started building up gradually over a period of time. But I would be sat there on the sofa, and there'd be some stuff in the corner of the room, and one part of my head would be going, that's only going to take 5-10 minutes to sort out. Come on, let's do it. But the other half of my brain was going, I'm not going to physically let you move to enable you to get up off that sofa, let alone to pack the things away. And it became a battle almost of the two sides of the brain. And sadly, the side one that was more, actually, I'm going to freeze you. I'm not going to let you do it. So as time went by, we ended up with a spare room that was an office, that you opened the door and you could just see the carpet as you opened the door. So not even the floor. And I'd started building it up because when people were coming round, I'd go, oh, quick, put it all in the carry bag. I'll just stuff it in there and I'll sort it out later. Then I began to realise that that later doesn't come, because then you just end up with another bag and another bag and yet another bag. So with lots of help and support, I tackled the room and I felt such a sense of accomplishment afterwards. And at the beginning of mid-2019, I was in a point where I wasn't working, and it was a case of, right, okay, I feel like now I can work again. I don't want to go back into the financial industry, which I was in before. And I was struggling. My life had changed completely. So I'd gone from being a bank manager, working full time, to being unemployed, to then trying to get a job within school hours because I couldn't afford childcare, and I was now a single parent. So I decided to set up in business, and Clear the Clutter now was born. And I absolutely love helping people to clear their clutter, because I know firsthand how much impact it has on both your mental and your physical well-being, because it's draining, absolutely draining, and it can limit your life as to what you want to do and what you want to enjoy. And I know we've had, people say tonight, Melanie, you'd love to do more arts and crafts, walk on the beach, sleep. Having a decluttered house improves your quality of sleep. Alison would like to do more writing, and Andrea pottery, or maybe some designing. Now I know that Andrea's at pottery tonight, so it would be lovely to see your creations later. And by being less cluttered, you can be 10% more productive in your home. So if you're 10% more productive, you have more time available to do the things that you love. Now, my mantra is clear home, clear head, clear heart, because I fully believe that if you have a clearer home, that opens up your mind to allow you to be more productive, to get more done, to put things away as and when you use it after you've used them, which then opens up your heart to more abundance. And that abundance isn't necessarily materialistic things. It's things like going for a walk and coming back and opening that front door, and you're not having that feeling of being dragged down as you open that front door. So it's improving the relationships, not just with your partner, with your kids, but with your home, and more importantly, with yourself as well. And what I look at with decluttering and decluttering online is that I support you, so that when it comes to those decisions, and I'm smiling now because I'll give you an example. I did an online declutter with somebody. She had, I can't remember now whether it was 8 or 10 arch lever files in a box under the stairs. And I was getting to know, we have a bit of banter, and I'm like, what, why? She said, well, they're from university. Okay. So we were chatting about it. So why have you decided to keep them? Bearing in mind, she went to university about 25, 30 years ago. And through talking about it, we narrowed it down to the fact that she loved her time at university, and she then really enjoyed a particular subject, and the lecturer was motivational. And at the end, it actually came down to the fact that it was in her handwriting. So from all of that, she kept one piece of paper. So 8 to 10 arch lever files full of notes from university, one piece of paper. And that is now in a frame on her desk, and it brings back those happy memories every time she looks at it. So you've got rid of a massive box full. Now, when I say get rid, we don't get rid, because my purpose is to repurpose, recycle, upcycle, redistribute as much as possible. And I know we had Chantel on the other week from Joan to Junk, and she loves upcycling things. And I'm able to give clients those ideas and suggestions of what they might be able to do with a chest of drawers that doesn't perhaps fit where they're wanting it to be. And when people say to me, I just need more storage, I go, no, you don't. Storage is the last thing that you actually look at. And people think, well, that's a bit back to front. And it's not, because if you clear first, you can then get storage that works for you and your home.
This is a really interesting thing. So I know we've spoken about, you know, everything quite a lot, and I really think there's a very, very fine line in between keeping things that are sentimental and also then not being like eco-minded and all the rest of it, and not wanting to just, you know, throw it in a bin. So for example, you could be looking at one of these clutter clearing shows that they have, you know, whereby, oh, they just pull the skip up outside and just toss everything in it. And I kind of get that whole kind of tossing it all out and, you know, just getting rid of it. But there should be, you know, some real valid way of then not getting rid, but as you've just said, you know, passing it on. And I think that there's a really, really thin line between the two of those.
There is. It's a very fine line, and how I cringe as well when I see those programs, because it's not addressing the root cause of the problem. So if somebody comes along and just throws everything in the skip, that person can panic. And it's not panic that everything's gone necessarily. It's panic that they haven't got their security blanket around them. So when I do declutters like that, I don't do a full room. We'll do a little bit, so it gradually reduces all around the home. And
very important, isn't it, to do it?
Very much so, because otherwise it's just going to happen again. And we look at, like I say, the redistribution of things. So if it's things that are no longer required, rather than saying, oh, well, no, just chuck that, or the client may decide, oh, well, I don't want that anymore, that's fine. So to help them along with their decision making, it's let's pass these on for others to enjoy. And by just changing that little bit of terminology, it makes it more acceptable for it to be let go.
Yeah, because you're right, because we keep things, you know, for sentimental reasons, and it is a security blanket around us. I mean, believe it or not, with the thousands of mannequins I've got in the yard, I do still have dreams that I've run out. Like my big mountain of mannequins, I've actually had a dream where there's only one pair of legs and it's not the right pair of legs, you know, because one leg doesn't fit onto the other, and I'm panicking in my dream.
Yeah.
It's my little comfort blanket.
Yes.
In mountain.
Yeah. But it's things like, you know, if you have something up in the loft and it's like, oh, well, yeah, I inherited that, but I'm not so keen on it. Well, why is it up in the loft? Nobody's enjoying it. Oh, I'm going to pass it on to my children. Okay, so say those children are grown up. What's wrong with passing it on to them now? Because then it's out of your house. They like it. So let them enjoy it for longer than having to wait until you've passed away.
Yeah, I've got an argument.
And then it comes down the line
about that. So I've got a really lovely, it's a 1970s retro sideboard.
Oh, lovely.
Which is absolutely gorgeous. But my eldest son looks at it and he just says, I hate that thing. I don't like it at all. And it's quite a family sort of like funny thing, is that it is going to be left to him in my will if I've still got it.
Yeah.
But just to give you an update, we've got 6 people watching live.
Excellent. Please say hello.
Yeah, Sharon says hello. Hi, Sharon. Chantel's watching. She says we both look fab.
Oh, thank you.
Bond James. I said to you before, isn't it? I'm on a James Bond theme at the moment, so I'm a Bond girl this evening. My mum is watching. Hello, Mum.
Hello, Mum.
Sarah's watching. Jaunty Junk Chantel says, I've got 3 boys at home. I believe hugely in hand-me-downs. It saves money and the planet, but how can I control it better? Storage solution ideas would be great.
Okay, so it depends on the age gaps between them as to whether it goes directly from one child to the next, or whether there's an age gap in between where you perhaps have to bag things up, put it away, wait for the right age to come and then bring them out again. Storage solutions for storing clothes that they wear now, I suggest starting off with a shoebox. And I know that sounds bonkers, but if you have a shoebox, my daughter's t-shirts are still in a shoebox, and how you fold them is instead of having them like that, you have them like that.
Ah,
so you can see,
like Marie Kondo.
Yeah, you can see all the colours, and children can then see exactly which t-shirt they want without pulling everything out the drawers. And by having them in a shoebox in your drawer, it keeps everything tidy. So with regards to keeping for hand-me-downs, one thing I would consider is, are your children the same physical shape? Because it may be trousers fit one, but they may not particularly fit the next one. And also it may be that in jumpers or tracksuit tops, do they like that colour? Do they not? So if they don't like it, then you can look at things like passing it on or selling them on the various selling platforms that you have. So that's actually moving it out of the home. Storage solutions for clothes that are put to one side, ready for the next child, so then it's not going from literally their wardrobe to their wardrobe. I would put them in a plastic box with a lid, and I would fold them in a way that, well, in fact, I would roll them, because you can fit far more in to the plastic box by rolling them. There's that, or the airtight, where you put your Hoover in and it sucks all the air out.
Oh, they're a personal
like the compression.
Yeah, they are a personal favourite of mine, those bags, because you put stuff in, even if you're not quite sure about it, and then just go with a Hoover, and then they're like this big, and then you can just put them anywhere.
But what I would do for that is also write a list of what you have that's gone into that bag and put it on the inside of the wardrobe door, so that you're not buying anything else. Sorry about that. Not buying anything else when you've already got it, but you may have forgotten about it, but it's in that box or bag.
Yeah, that's so true as well, because otherwise you go and double buy stuff, don't you? So we have Marcin is watching. Sharon says, yes, you both look lovely. Andrea, you mentioned her just now. She's watching. Chantal says there's 4 years between each of her children, so she might have to wait, but she loves the shoebox idea. And yes, the children are the same shape and even the same foot width. And we've now got 7 people watching.
Excellent. Thank you very much. If anybody's got any other questions, please pop them on as we're going through, and we will answer them. If we don't have time, then I will come back and have a look and answer them for you. So shall we do the handbag?
Are we going to get our handbags out?
Get your handbags out. Okay, everybody who's watching, get your handbags out, please.
Right.
It's not handbags at dawn, it's handbags at 7:20.
I wanted to post that earlier, actually, when you went on the live. I wanted to say handbags at dawn, and then I went, oh no, but it's at 7 o'clock.
Right, what I'd like you to do is empty your handbags, please. Empty them onto your table or the floor or wherever it is you are. I'd like you to empty them, and I'd like to know in the comments the most random things you've got in your handbag. Okay, so Roz has got a pair of sunglasses. It's going to be like the generation game, this, isn't it?
My handbag is exactly like the generation game. So shall I just tell you what I've got in my house? I'll get it out and tell you.
It's like a handbag.
Generation game. Here we go. Although I don't have the conveyor belt. So we've got a pair of sunglasses. We've got Stephanie's hand because she tried to strangle me the other day. So I keep her hand in my handbag. I've got a roll of loo roll because that's just like the topic of the year, isn't it? So
yeah,
for the last couple of years, we've got.
Actually, I've got a little hack for a toilet roll. The inside of a toilet roll, use it to keep your wrapping paper secure. So at Christmas, you don't need these bags that they say. Buy this bag at $10.99 to store your wrapping paper in. No, just put a loo roll on the end of it.
Oh, amazing.
Job done.
Right, car keys.
Right, so what else is on there? You've got more than car keys on there, unless you've got about 8 cars.
The car, I've got my mum's house, I've got the helicopter. No, not really, I'm just joking. I've got all the warehouse keys. I've got this, but it used to have a little picture in it, but it doesn't anymore, but it's quite handy for holding on to, so I've left it there. Trolley coin and a Land Rover key ring that I got in Ireland.
Okay.
Oh, hang on a minute, there's loads of people talking now. It's all gone. It's all gone nuts. Oh no, maybe not so many. Oh, it's Sharon keeps pressing the wrong buttons. Come on, get your handbags out, everybody. I'm feeling good after seeing your bag, Ros. My bags are all emptied every time I come home. I've got hardly anything in them. Blimey.
Brilliant.
Right. Are we ready?
Go on.
I've got a snake. I've got a crystal if I need to do a bit of channeling.
Right, okay.
Because I'm a Bond girl, we do have a hammer. And we've got...
I'm getting a bit worried about your handbag.
Got a screwdriver. We've got a passport because obviously I'm a Bond girl, so if I need to jump around,
you need to be there ready to go.
Yep. Painkillers.
Yep.
It's very important when you're having a fight with a villain. Another screwdriver. Oh, we've got some notes here. We've got it's all about branding your business. There we go. That's all there that I've written down. We've got a hobby craft. I think it's like a loyalty card for a hobby craft. We've got this is Butte. This is what you give to a horse if it's like a bit sore. It's like ibuprofen for horses.
Right.
We've got some of that. We've got post-it notes. It's amazing, isn't it? What you can, I'm like Mary Poppins.
Yeah, it is. It is. Generally, there's a few crumbs at the bottom as well if you've got children.
Hang on, we've got a triangle. It's my grandson's. Got a pen. Some more just bits of paper. I think this is like something that fixes on a phone.
That's a camera
thing for a camera.
Yeah, that's to go on a tripod or something.
Yeah. What else? Oh, but there's loads of change and keys and screws and more pens and a fiver.
Oh, right. There we go. Right. So one thing that you haven't got in there that hasn't come out as yet is your purse.
Oh.
Because your purse is also a form of clutter. Because you've got change running around at the bottom of your bag and the odd fiver.
Okay, so I've got a phone case, a really nice phone case.
Right.
And then that's my purse, really. It's
okay. So have you got receipts in there that you've when you've done a purchase, you've got receipts?
Yeah, but I have now trained myself to have an envelope in my kitchen, and I just post them in there, and then I send them to this amazing lady called Sue, who does my accounts for me.
Yeah.
So I only
basically,
I don't have cash.
Yeah, with your handbag, all you really need in it are the keys that you are using that day. So if you're going out in the car, then you'd need your car key and your house keys. So it may be that, because sometimes I've got a big bunch of keys as well. So if I'm not going in the car and I'm just going out, I just take the house keys off, and I just take the house keys with me.
Oh,
So
but
it's a lot lighter.
if I did that though, I think I would lose my keys. That's why.
Do you always keep them in the same place?
Yeah, I always know. I've never lost them.
Right. Okay. So yeah. So I suggest you always keep your keys in the same place. And if you are just going out on an errand, just take the keys that you need. If you're going to be out all day, then obviously, you may be going down to the horses or that, or you may be going down to the yard. So you will need those other keys with you. A piece of paper and a pen. You don't need a full-on pad. You just need a piece of paper and a pen.
Right.
So you could have your pad of Post-it notes.
Yeah, I'm putting my Post-it notes and my pen.
And your pen.
Bag.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Packet of tissues. If you're like me, you always need a tissue.
I've only got a toilet roll.
There you go. So you don't need the whole toilet roll, do you?
Well, no, but I come from the bush, so.
Right. So you just need some tissues, and yeah, so you've got your notepad, you've got your pen, you've got your keys and your purse. Now with your purse, you take out all your receipts because they're not essential. If you've got a phone or a phone case like yours, Ros, then yeah, you can pop in your cards, which is great. But then always have somewhere, maybe a small little purse, something that you can put your change into. And then that can just drop into your bag as well. And it's getting into that habit of at the end of every day or when you come in to actually empty your bag. Because what you may find as well is that if you're a lipstick wearer, you've probably got about 5 in your handbag because you just think, oh, that's what put it in your bag. And you end up with all this stuff in your handbag that half of it is rubbish and that you don't actually need. And when I do this with people, we get some real random items. We've had somebody who carries a pair of knickers, half-eaten biscuits, all sorts. But if you empty it at the end of each day, everything has got a place to go. And you know that you're not going to be going out forgetting things because you're rummaging through your bag because you can't find it. You know exactly what you have.
Oh my God, that's my problem, right? So I do that all of the time and I rummage through and it's like, I'm sure there must be at least 10 quid in coins in here. So I rummage around the bottom. So would it help if you had like a tray or something where you could come home and just go, I guess the first time maybe, but after once you're like religiously decluttering your bag, which what you would suggest you do it every evening?
Yeah, every time you come in, because especially if you're using different handbags as well, because then you might end up with 4 or 5 just full of stuff, and you just literally take your purse and your keys out one and put it in the next one, and then your lipsticks stay in that first one, so then you end up with other lipsticks in this one, and then you can't find your lipsticks. So initially, yeah, turn it out onto a tray. I wouldn't recommend that that's the case going forward continuing, because the tray then just becomes a clutter area, in that you'll then empty it the next night and it'll go onto the tray and then it won't go off the tray. Yeah. So like you said, it's a great idea for having an envelope for receipts if you're going to be ticking them off. If you can get e-receipts, even better. And then you can put them into a separate folder on your emails. A lot of shops are doing that now. And with your cards as well, just take out the cards that you need. One thing I have on my phone is an app for all the store cards. So you said there you've got a Hobbycraft loyalty card. Now just think how many others people have. You've got Tesco's, you've got Boots, you've got Sainsbury's, you've the Nectar card. You know, there's so many different ones. And there's an app that you can have on your phone. And mine's called Stow Card. And literally you scan your loyalty card and it stores it on your phone. So literally what you would have, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. So if you can you see there? So literally
See.
all the loyalty cards are on there. So if I just press Tesco, it comes up with the barcode and you just scan the barcode.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how we declutter our handbags, everyone. This is how we do it. Just updating you on the comments and questions. Sharon says she's feeling very good after seeing my bag. She says
So
her
what?
bags are emptied every time she comes home.
Wow, that's impressive.
Sharon, are you even human?
That's very impressive.
Sharon is laughing that I've got a snake in my bag, that I've got a triangle. Chantal says she's got crumbs in her bag.
Yeah.
Vicky's watching. Hi, Vicky. She says she's terrible for grabbing stray stuff like baler twine and random eggs that the chickens have dropped on the driveway and putting those in her bag. And also receipts just float around there.
Yeah.
She thinks that they're breeding in her handbag.
And then you find ones that are scrunched up and then ones that have been in there so long that you can't actually read because all the ink's come off them.
Yeah, every now and then there are some like receipts of, you know, like you say about like, you know, using apps and stuff, but when you're getting fuel, so I'm VAT registered, so I need those fuel receipts.
Yeah.
And then every now and then I'll clear out an old handbag and I go, oh, I just send that to Sue. And it's
but as well, certain banking apps now you can have where if you do a transaction, you can photograph the receipt straight away.
Yeah.
So that's stored against the transaction on that statement.
Yeah. Vicky says same as me. She's always got phenylbutazone in her bag. That's the
horse one.
For the horses, yeah, in case they got a sore foot or something. Sharon says started that the other week, separating. So she's separating her keys. Sharon says in her bag each time she's got key, lippy, hand gel, face mask, bank card, and only use a very small bag so that she doesn't break her back.
Yes.
Oh, and painkillers, she says.
What I found was when I'd go out when I was married, that I'd end up not with just all my stuff. I'd end up with his phones, and he had 2. So they went in the bag, then his wallet, then his keys. And I'm like, this weighs a ton. So if you have a smaller bag, you don't carry everybody else's rubbish as well.
Yeah, that's right. You can't carry
to your own.
else's golf clubs and
yeah,
things like that. That's very important. And
yeah.
then Sharon's just said, yes, I'm just very fussy. I don't like to carry crap about. I used to years ago, but not for a few good years. It's much to take with you and unnecessary.
Brilliant.
And she's asked me, I mean, why do you need a snake with you? So I've got a snake in my bag. Oh my goodness. Well, I've got a snake in there because why have I got
to scare all those villains?
Exactly, because believe it or not, everyone, I am actually a Bond girl and I have to have a snake so I can maybe put it in your suitcase when you're not looking or something like that. Anyway, it's going back in the bag. The fiver's going back in. I don't think I need the triangle.
Maybe not.
I do need the passport because I'm going to do a runner.
Right.
I need the butte for the horses. That's very, very important. These bits of paper can go. Sunglasses I could put on my head. I don't need to take Stephanie's hand with me.
No.
I might need the hammer though.
Could you get a smaller hammer?
Would it be as effective?
Well, you could have a hammer that combines into a screwdriver as well.
Oh,
my daughter's got
me.
one of those.
Show me. I want it right now. That's it. It's going on my Christmas list.
There you go. It's a hammer and the handle unscrews and you've got loads of different screwdrivers in the handle.
Oh, absolutely brilliant.
So she said the other year that was her best Christmas present. So I think she was 6 when she got it.
Yeah, I remember having a toolkit because my dad was a carpenter, so I'd often spend time with him in the shed. But I do remember having a toy oh God, I don't know how old I must have been, but I do remember having like a plastic toy toolkit when I was
Yeah,
little, and then I thought I was a very big girl because I was banging things just like
yeah.
Daddy
I
would.
know she's quite happy. She's 9 now, but she will quite happily. She helps put the architrave around the doors, um, in the little hallway that we have, and she
Yeah.
helped put the shelves up in the garage. So yeah,
Oh,
she's very handy.
oh,
Very
that's good.
handy.
No, they definitely need encouraging, don't they? So
Yeah.
the question I've got for you then, Janine, is
Yes.
that it's very, very easy to be overwhelmed by clutter or to feel that you just can't function very well, or you don't have a lot of energy, but you're not necessarily relating it to the fact that, hang on a minute, you need to clear your stuff and all the way around it.
Yeah.
What can you do to help someone who really just feels quite hopeless with it all? Like where would they be able to start?
There's one thing that I said to myself when I was trying to combat all the clutter, and I still do need to do that at times as well, is just 3 things. And each time I went into a room, I would pack just 3 things away. And after doing that for a short while, I could see it progressing. You can't see it straight away. But then I'd find myself, if I was going upstairs to put something away in my bedroom, I'd go into the spare room and put 3 things away in the spare room, and then put 3 things away in my room. So it then starts to increase. I'd also recommend that you take a photograph as well, because when you're dealing with clutter, you get to the point, once you have started it, you're like, oh, I've hardly done anything. But you feel like you've done loads, but when you look at it, it's like, well, it doesn't look any different. So take a photograph. I do this with all my clients. And you take a photograph before, and then take a photograph at the end of your cluttering session. So don't overwhelm yourself. Don't say, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to declutter the garage today. It's too much. So use a timer, 10 minutes. I don't recommend using your phone, because by that you end up scrolling afterwards as well. Oh, I've just got a message. Let me just have a look at that. And before you know it, an hour's gone. Use your cooker clock or get a small little timer. They're only £1, and set it for 10 minutes and just have that little burst of, right, okay, what can I do in 10 minutes? And you'll find that you can actually do quite a lot. And by taking that photograph beforehand as well, you can then see the progress that you're making, and whether that be on a day-to-day basis or from start to finish. If you've got a room a bit like Monica's closet from Friends, if people remember that, that's where she opens the door and literally everything falls out. A bit like my spare room that I had, where you could only see a little patch of the floor. Is you can always use a plain shower curtain or a plain sheet, something that you already have, and throw it over one side of it. Because visually, that's then saying to your brain, actually, I don't need to look at that because it's a plain colour. I just need to focus on this bit here. And by focusing on that bit there, you actually get that sense of achievement because you've done that little bit. And you know you've still got the rest to do, but it's not there in your face going, you need to sort me out now, because it's covered up.
Yeah, and that's what it does, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you walk into a room like that, it's if I walk into my kitchen now and there's some washing up to be done, it's like it's going,
Yeah.
I think it's just like, I wish my dishwasher would work properly.
Yes.
Just shove it in
Yeah.
there, push the button on, go away.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to sit there and wash it up.
Well, no, and you don't want to sit there and look at it either.
No,
Do you?
definitely not. It does. What you're saying is absolutely 100%. It just drags you down. It really, really does.
And by having somebody there who's motivating you or encouraging you and helping you with those decisions and helping you with the accountability, that actually makes it quicker.
Yeah, for
And
sure. And not everyone would think to be able to say bring someone into their house like that. But you do like online cluttering
I do.
for
Yeah.
people. So explain a bit about that? I mean, I know we can book that through your website, so I'll put the link to that in the comments for you.
Thank you.
Just explain a little bit about how that works.
Basically, like we're doing now, in a way, we do it by video. So whether it be WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. So you flip your camera around, and this is really helpful for people who get quite anxious about people touching their belongings. And you flip your camera around so I can see the room. So you give me a little tour of your room or what it is that's concerning you. And before this, we actually have a chat, get to know you a bit, and find out what your story is, how you've got to the position that you're in now. And I share part of my journey as well, because at the end of the day, I'm human. And this is, you know, I want people to know that I do understand, because that's where I've come from as well. And I'll then talk you through the different elements of your room, where you're wanting to go, whether I feel actually that you're focusing on one thing, but your brain's wanting you to focus on another. And an example of that is when I did an online declutter, was that initially she said to me, I want to go under the bed. Oh, I've got paperwork under the bed. That's what I want to do. So we started the session. I'd done one with her previously, started the session, and she was hopping all around the bedroom. And I'm thinking, she's actually, the paper under the bed isn't the issue here. So I just got to sit down. I said, I'll do it with you. We closed our eyes. I said, just let's think, let's just calm ourselves. And after a minute, I just said, right, so what was popping into your head? And she went, the wardrobe. I said, right, that's what we need to do then, because that was obviously subconsciously on her mind. And we did the wardrobe. So we went through all the clothes, we went through the boxes that were in there. And that was looking at recategorizing the boxes, putting like for likes together, going through and seeing where we could repurpose things. So she had an excess of craft materials. So they went off to a local group who did card making, so they could use them. And clothes went to a charity shop, and some of her nicer dresses were put to one side because she was going to sell those. And books, some books were going to go to schools because she had books in her wardrobe as well. Children's books went to local school, this is the local primary school. Her books went to the charity shop. So it's all about redistributing things as well, of where to go. But I'm with you all the way, and you know, your decision making becomes far quicker because you're talking to somebody about it. And then I get to the stage where, you know, I do get to know you, and you'll be holding a dress up, and by the end of it, I'll be going, no, go on. But if you know, if they're deliberating, and you know, I can say to you, you're deliberating about this, so why are you deliberating? What's going through your mind? And then you can tell me, and then actually I'll leave it so that everybody comes to their own decision, because I'm not here to tell you, you don't need that, you don't need that.
Yeah, there's so much more into it, isn't it, than just clearing some space. There really is. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, very much so.
Well, Janine, absolutely brilliant. We've had some great entertainment with my handbag sorting it out, and a really fantastic interview. I think what you're doing is just so incredibly powerful that,
thank you,
even though a lot of people wouldn't admit it, but I mean, I know the power you can feel from literally boom, boom, boom. Get rid of, you know, everything.
People change as I'm actually with them. I can see them changing, and that's what makes me do what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I put the link in the comments, everybody, so that you can go and chat. And then, of course, if you've got any questions, if you tag Janine in the post or in the group, she will definitely see it, and she will.
I will go through and answer any questions. If you do find that, oh, I don't really want to ask that in the group, that's fine. Just send me a message, and I'm happy to have a chat with you that way, to go through any issues that you might have, or any blocks that you may have, and I'll go through them with you, not a problem. Thank you very much, Ros, and thank you for everybody for watching. Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.